So the tool is xargs. And what does xargs do? What does xargs do? What? All right. Woo. Welcome to another mighty. I know that I said I was going to do Kubernetes the hardest way, the worker nodes, this weekend, and I lied. It turns out that the worker nodes really needs to be two videos because it's the worker nodes plus the pod networking. And I was going to originally sidecar it on with the worker nodes, but that was going to give you guys a disservice. So I've kind of went back to the drawing board, going to start working on those videos. I mean, I've already started working on them, but they're going to take a little bit more time and they'll be out later this week. Now, so instead of that, I have this great Mighty Mini Monday for you guys this Monday, and I will be releasing those a little bit later. And then stay tuned for some more exciting stuff on machine learning, Kubernetes, and I even have an Arduino project coming up that I'm very excited to share with you guys, and I think it will be a lot of fun. So with nothing else in the way, let's get into this week's Mighty Mini Monday.
Channel.
What's up, and welcome to another Mighty Mini Monday. So today's Mighty Mini Monday is on xargs. Xargs is the tool that allows you to provide standard input to other tools. So what does this mean, really? Let's dive in to some examples. All right, so here we have just a standard command. And let's start with just like some really simple examples. So this is it's this xargs, and you can see the help page. This will go over, there's a bunch. I'm not going to go over all of them, but I'm going to go over my favorite command line options for it. These are going to be the I, as well as T and P. All right, so now we're in the right directory. We have this. It has an example folder, but let's go on into our echo example. Echo 1, 2, 3. And now if we execute this, we'll echo 1, 2, 3. But we could do xargs now we could do a bunch of things, but let's just do touch. If you're unfamiliar with touch, it updates the timestamp on a file or creates it if it doesn't exist. So now if we do this and run ls, you can notice that there are 2 or 3 new files, 1, 2, and 3. So this ran, if you're wondering what this exactly did, this is where T comes in, -T. So if we ran this with -T, it actually prints out what it's going to run. So here you'll see that it's going to run this command, touch 1, 2, 3. So it took the input from echo, the standard input, and piped it to xargs, and xargs gave it to touch, the command line utility that doesn't use standard input and doesn't accept it. So this is the roots of xargs, and it allows you to build a lot of really awesome scripts that are really concise and do a lot of wonderful things. So let's look at a few more examples. The -T is one of my favorites. So if you're not quite sure what it's going to do, touch is a great way to see what it's going to do. All right, another thing that we can do here is let's put in some new lines. Let's put in some new lines and see if that changes anything. So you'll notice it didn't really change anything, but we can make it change it a little bit. Now you'll notice that this is touch 1, 2, 3 all on the same line. But let's say we had a command that we wanted to run on each of the new lines. So each line that was given. So with a find or a grep, they'll return multiple lines, and we want to run a different command or a unique command for each one. So if we wanted to do that, we can do it with this -I. Now, when you do this, you're going to need to give it a variable. So we'll do it %. And then we also have to make sure that we provide this % to the thing that we're running. So we're going to do this. Now, if you notice, what we did was we ran touch on each line. All right. So if we didn't have these new lines in here, it would have just been one line still. And we can experiment with that and see what that looks like. And you'll see it didn't change. It's because it needs the new line. That's how the -I is going to break apart which one it is. So that is why -T and -I are some of my favorites, and allows you to build out some really awesome automated scripts. The other one that's really cool, if you're unsure about what you're writing, you can do the -P. -P is going to ask you for confirmation. So it's going to print it like -T and then ask you if you want to run it. So let's do this one with -P. And you'll notice it's asking, do I want to run this? If you just hit enter or anything but yes, it's just going to return. You have to actually hit yes for it to run it. All right, so the very last thing that I will go over is just some more practical examples. It's not every day that you're going to be wanting to use touch. So let's go ahead and use a find example. So we can do, I have this folder here. Let's look at it. So you'll notice that this created 1, 2, and 3 because this is very interesting to look into. We provided touch this as a variable here. So that's why it created a folder 1, 2, 3, or a file 1 space 2 space 3. This is kind of bad. So let's clean that up. All right. So now let's look at this example file. So if we go into example here, you'll see 3 files, just a foo.bar, a bar.foo, and a foo.bar. Let's say that we really wanted to delete every .bar file, and there could be hundreds in here. So we can find them easily enough by writing find example. And then let's see, we're going to do type of file and name. We just need anything that's a bar. All right. And we found both of them. And this is great, but we're not doing anything with this. And we really wanted to actually delete these files. So we can pipe that into RM. Again, it's giving standard input to RM. So let's pipe this to xargs and RM. And now you'll notice if we go ls examples, we only have 1 file left. So you can use this to create files, delete files, and any of the other commands that we use, xargs can give them command arguments and whatnot. So it's a super powerful tool. I hope that this helps empower your workloads and workdays. And just, I know I found the tool helpful, and hopefully this sheds a little light on it. I really hope that you found this video helpful and informative. And if you did, please like and subscribe. If you didn't like this video and didn't really find it helpful or informative, please go ahead and subscribe anyways to stick around and see if these videos get any better for science. Thank you very much. Have a very fantastic Monday.